Here's an alarming statistic. More than 10,000 people have a cardiac arrest at work.
Yikes, makes you not want to go to work. Even more alarming, though, is some people don't know how to respond if their coworker is having an emergency. And we would hope we'd all know what to do. So we bring in 9 News medical expert Dr. Payal Kohli to join us now. And this is something that, be awful if you saw a coworker having problems. But how do you even recognize a cardiac arrest? What are some of the things that we should do, and what should we do first out of the gate?
Awful. 350,000 to 400,000 cardiac arrests a year, and 90% of them are fatal. Kim and Sam, it's because 70% of Americans don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
Right? Would you know what to do?
I don't know. I know where the defibrillator is, and I know I would call for help, but I don't know which I should do in what order.
What order?
Call for help first?
First thing you do, as soon as the person is down, you try to see if they've collapsed. You start that CPR right away. You do not waste time, because if you run off and start calling for help every minute that they're down, their chance of survival actually goes down by 10%. So the nice thing about a workplace collapse is there's a lot of people around. So you would expect that response times are faster, but it's actually the opposite compared to an in-hospital arrest, because nobody knows what to do. So let's say, God forbid, something happens to us in our workplace here. You start CPR on that chest right away, you yell out for somebody else to come, and then that other person goes and gets a defibrillator, calls for help, and then you can start to defibrillate the person.
And when you say that, because I'm trying to register everything you're saying. So you're not performing mouth to mouth, you're performing just that, and the rhythm is staying alive, right?
That's right.
The song Staying Alive.
Yep, hands only CPR, so you don't have to worry about touching anyone's lips or anything like that. So the first thing you want to do when somebody collapses, rub on their chest really hard. Are you okay? Are you okay? Try to see if you can see any breathing, any chest rising. If you know how to find a pulse, see if you can feel a pulse, but otherwise you start compressing that chest 100 to 120 times per minute. You want to push in at least 2 inches. So really good CPR actually breaks ribs, just so you know. That's how hard you're pushing.
Yeah, okay.
And then you want to let go in between to allow for recoil, because essentially what you're doing is being the heart, right? When somebody has a cardiac arrest, the heart stops, circulation stops, brain's not getting blood flow, organs are not getting blood flow. So you're trying to move the blood, displace it from their chest into their brain and other parts of their body. So 100 to 120 times a minute, as you said, Sam, staying alive, and then make sure you let up in the middle. And the minute you're getting tired, you call for help. You don't keep going, because the longer we do it, the more tired we get, the more the quality of the CPR goes down, and then it's like not doing it at all.
Oh boy. So somebody else could jump in if necessary, So why are they more common, these events at work? Is it stress? Is it just life at work?
Well, so sometimes it depends on the type of work you do. So if you're a construction worker or work in agriculture, farm worker, obviously you're physical labor, you're more physically active. But for the rest of us who sit at a desk, it's actually the opposite. It's the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response that's activated by workplace stress, by drinking too much caffeine, by not drinking enough water, by sitting at our desk. And I remember a case in medical school he was a hedge fund guy, a trader, and his stock went way down and he lost millions of dollars. And that next second he stood up and just tore his entire aorta, which is that big blood vessel in our body, because that surge of stress caused a really high blood pressure. So as much as we get stressed by work, we have to keep in mind that our body feels it in real time, and that's why workplace arrests are actually so common.
And why do you think the bystanders, why do you think people are not intervening?
You know, I think some of it is lack of knowledge and some of it is fear. So people don't know how to recognize the cardiac arrest, which is why I'm so glad we're talking about it. And then once they recognize it, the idea of touching somebody else, compressing their chest, breaking their ribs, it's all very frightening. But you have to remember, this is their only chance, right? They have a 90% chance of dying if you just stand there and don't do anything. And so if you don't know CPR, it's really important to go and learn it, because you could save a life one day. And every year we have young, old, kids, all kinds of people that have cardiac arrest. So it's important to learn that. And then the other piece of it is, I think, that you just have to feel empowered to know how to use a defibrillator, to know where it is. And I'm glad Kim knows. Sam, I'm going to take you right afterwards down the hall and show you where it is.
Yeah.
And hook it up. Because that's a little device that tells you right away if the heart's electricity needs to be reset. It does it for you, in fact. So in addition to that CPR, that actually fixes the problem until, of course, that ambulance arrives.
Oof, okay. Yeah, you hope you never experience it, but you wouldn't want to also experience it and not know what to do. That's the worst thing ever.
Right.
So.
Well, and we saw with Damar Hamlin that he's really made an effort to promote the CPR, and he collapsed and got resuscitated within a few minutes, and he's back to life as normal. So really it changed his life.
Okay, that's important. We all need to pay attention to this, and you can find out much more and all of Dr. Kohli's advice and everything, Dr. Kohli at 9news.com/Dr. Kohli.